Hi, welcome back. It's me, Tammy. In this lesson, we're going to read about Lesson 26, The Best Art Critics. We're going to read the lesson, and then we'll answer the question, who is the student's best critic? Here's the student. She looked at it critically. So let's read the article. It says, I am an art student, and I paint a lot of pictures. Art, paint. Art is how we express ourselves through painting or sculpting. It's a way we can express our creative side. Many people pretend that they understand modern art. Pretend here means to lay claim to. They say they understand modern art. They always tell you what a picture is about. Of course, many pictures are not about anything. They are just pretty patterns. A pattern is a repeated design. When we design something and we keep repeating the design, it's called a pattern. We like them in the same way that we like pretty curtain material. Curtain material. Well, curtains are fabric we use to hang over our windows to cover them. And material is the fabric or the stuff we use to make things like clothes or shoes or handbags or curtains. I think that young children often appreciate pictures better than anyone else. Appreciate means to recognize the full worth of something. They notice more. Notice means to become aware of something. My sister is only 7, but she always tells me whether my pictures are good or not. We use the word whether when we want to indicate that a statement applies to whichever alternative it is. And here, the sisters, she's implying whether his pictures are good or not. She came into my room yesterday. What are you doing? She asked. I'm hanging this picture on the wall, I answered. It's a new one. Do you like it? Hang. Hang means to suspend something from above and not let it touch the ground. We hang curtains from our windows. She looked at it critically for a moment. Critically means it's when we look at something to find fault in it or to judge it. It's all right, she said, but isn't it upside down? Upside down is when the upper part of something is where the lower part should be. Here, the little girl is turned upside down. Her head is below where her feet should be. I looked at it again. She was right. It was. Let's read this again. I am an art student. Art is how we express ourselves through paintings or sculptures. And I paint a lot of pictures. Paint means to depict something on something else. Like if we paint something, we're going to make a drawing of something using paint or colors that will leave a surface behind when it dries. Many people pretend or lay claim that they understand modern art. They always tell you what a picture is about. Of course, many pictures are not about anything. They are just pretty patterns or repeated designs. We like them in the same way that we like pretty curtain materials. The same way we like things that we hang over our windows, made out of stuff that we make clothes from or shoes, material. I think that young children often appreciate to recognize the full worth of modern pictures better than anyone else. They notice or they become aware more. My sister is only 7, but she always tells me whether my pictures are good or not. She came into my room yesterday. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm hanging or I'm suspending this picture on the wall," I answered. "It's a new one. Do you like it?" She looked at it critically for a moment. She looked at it and judged it. "It's all right," she said, "but isn't it upside down?" "Upside down. Isn't it turned the wrong way?" I looked at it again. She was right. It was. Who is the student's best critic? Well, his 7-year-old sister is his best critic. Now let's answer some questions about the article we just read. Number 1. Does the writer study art or does he study music? Does he paint a lot of pictures or not? Let's answer this question and join the two sentences together with and. The writer studies art and he paints a lot of pictures. Number 2. Do many people really understand modern art or not? Well, according to the author or the writer, many people do not understand modern art. Number 3, do paintings always have a meaning or not? No, paintings do not always have a meaning. Number 4, are they sometimes pretty patterns or not? Sometimes they are just pretty patterns. Number 5, do young children appreciate modern paintings better than others or not? Do they notice more or not? Let's answer this question and join the sentences with not only and but. Not only do young children appreciate modern paintings better than others, but they notice more. Number 6, when did the writer's young sister go into his room? Did she examine his new picture or not? Let's answer the question and join the two sentences with the word and. The writer's young sister went into his room yesterday and she examined his new picture. Number 7, had he hung it upside down or had he hung it the right way up? Did she notice this immediately or not? Let's answer this question and join it together with and. He hung the picture upside down and she noticed it immediately. Let's rewrite these sentences using the correct verbs and joining words. It says, I watched the picture, and I could not realize it. It was black and white and named trees and snow. I could see not only trees nor snow. I looked at the picture, but could not understand it. It was in black and white and was called trees and snow. I could see neither trees nor snow. Letter writing. Let's decide which of these following headings is correct. Let's see. Is this heading correct? Or is this heading correct? Or is this heading correct? This is the correct heading. This is the correct heading. It has the street address, the city and state where the address is located, and it also has the date followed by the address. These things always happen. A, it says, I am having breakfast. Do you always get up so late? The earth goes round the sun. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. We rarely put ing at the end of these verbs. So at the end of these verbs, we rarely put ing. Appear, appreciate, believe, feel, forget, hear, know, like, or look like, notice, remember, resemble, see, think, and understand. These verbs tell us what always happened. I hear that you like classical music. I remember Tom very well. Do you know him? Now let's underline the verbs in the passage that tell us what always happens and those which tell us what is happening now. I am an art student and I paint a lot of pictures. Many people pretend that they understand modern art. They always tell you what a picture is about. Of course, many pictures are not about anything. They are just pretty patterns. We like them in the same way that we like pretty curtain material. I think that young children often appreciate modern pictures better than anyone else. They notice more. My sister is only 7, but she always tells me whether my pictures are good or not. She came into my room yesterday. What are you doing? I'm hanging this picture on the wall, I answered. It's a new one. Do you like it? She looked at it critically for a moment. It's all right, she said, but isn't it upside down? I looked at it again. She was right. It was. Letter B. What is happening? What always happens? Let's give the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Some people still believe the world is flat, he said. You're joking, I replied. I do not know anyone who does. You're joking. I do not know anyone who does. Well, you know me. I believe that the earth is flat. I met a man the other day. I forgot his name now. I have forgotten his name now. Blank, you tried to tell me that you believe him, I asked. Are you trying to tell me that you believe him? I certainly do, he answered. I think that he is right. And which side of the dish do you live on? Excuse me. And which side of the dish are you living on? Oh, I don't know. He didn't tell me that. Special difficulties. In written conversation, we put speech marks. These are speech marks. Either like this or like this. Around the words that are actually spoken. So we put speech marks around words that are actually spoken when we write. So let's read these carefully. It says, "What are you doing?" she asked. As you can see, there are speech marks around what she said, which are, "What are you doing?" "I'm hanging this picture on the wall," I answered. "It's a new one. Do you like it?" There are speech marks around "I'm hanging this picture on the wall. It's a new one. Do you like it?" She looked at it critically for a moment. "It's all right," she said, "but isn't it upside down?" There are speech marks around "It's all right, but isn't it upside down?" Now speech marks are above the line, and they go outside all other marks like commas or full stops and question marks. So we put them outside of other marks. And remember, when we write a sentence, the first word must be capitalized. And when the speaker says something, we also capitalize the word. So the speaker's first word begins with a capital letter. And words like said and asked are followed by a comma. We put a full stop after them only when they come at the end of a sentence. And when words like said or asked interrupt the speaker, the second half of the sentence begins with a small letter. And we begin a new paragraph each time a new speaker is introduced. Let's write this piece of conversation again using speech marks. "Look," she said, isn't that man drunk?" "I think we should cross the road," answered her husband. "It's too late now," she replied. You two, look where you're going," called the drunk. "Can't you walk in a straight line?" Multiple choice questions. Number 1. The writer thinks you can't always explain modern pictures. You can always explain modern pictures. Modern pictures are always about something, or we can use modern pictures as curtain materials. You can't always explain modern pictures. The writer's sister noticed that her brother had made a mistake. Many people pretend that they understand modern art. What is it about? Tell me what it is about. She tells me whether my pictures are good or not. Do you like my picture? It's a new one. I looked at it again. She was right. We like them just the same. We like them just as we like pretty curtain material. This curtain material is very good cloth. Young children often appreciate modern pictures. They value them, or they value them. They notice more. They observe more. It's upside down. It isn't the right way up. Let's rewrite this sentence. Are my pictures good or not? Please tell me whether my pictures are good. Please tell me whether my pictures are good or not. Well, this is the end of this lesson. I hope you'll join me in my next lesson, lesson number 27, a wet night.